Guys, welcome back to the UWR podcast. My name is Omar. I'm joined by my co-host Andy, and today we'll be talking about part two of 2020 22 things we learned in 2022. And the main goal with this was, as we said in the first part, we just kind of wanted to really quickly, just digest and take all the things, sort of the main points that we learned from 2022. Obviously, we learned more than 22 things, just so that we could put it in a concise manner and share with the people what we've been learning in our journey, so that you can apply it to your own journey, see success. Me and Andy, we are partners. We do run a gym fitness company helping skinny individuals who are looking to put on muscle, maybe in the past and struggle to put on weight, get jacked and get big and become and actually see real results. So I'll now pass it off to Andy to introduce himself. Andy, go ahead.
Yo, what is good, guys? My name is Andy, like as Omar mentioned, like he said, we both run a coaching company where we're helping skinny guys. We're struggling to build muscle, put on the muscle that they want, and actually stay lean at the same time. So we're gonna talk about the 22 things that we learned in 2022. So this is gonna be the second part. We weren't able to finish it in the last video. We were short on time, but we're here to finish the whole list. So the first one who's going to start it off is going to be Omar. He's going to give his point, and then we're just going to be going back and forth, explaining what we really mean, which each lesson that we learned. So Omar, you could go off right ahead.
Yeah, so continue off the last part, which we left on number 10. Number 11 is actually pretty simple and self-explanatory. It's just seek win-win scenarios and focus on providing value. Now, what I mean by win-win scenarios is that a lot of times, especially when it comes to business, we have this view of negotiation that it needs to be, I need to take this person for all that they can give me. And by doing that, I will get the furthest. And the reason we believe these things initially, right, as we're growing up, is because it's what's going to give you the short-term biggest gain, right? If you're negotiating with someone and you screw them over so bad in the deal, you feel like you did good because, like I was able to get so much for such a low cost. I really won that deal. I won that negotiation. But understand is that over the long term, what you do is you kind of just end up pissing everybody off and ruining those relationships and ruining those connections. Then the long term is going to hurt you because instead you want to become the type of guy, right, who when people work with him, they get so much in return that you're not the only one profiting. They also profit. That people, whenever they think of working with you, they think of positive things. What you do is you actually end up becoming the type of guy that everybody wants to work with, because if I make money, you make money. Anybody who I work with, they make money as well. You're going to be the type of guy that basically everyone wants to work with. And because of that, your ability to network and make these relationships and build connections goes up exponentially. So, guys, it's just a quick mindset shift of, instead of thinking win, lose, how can I beat this person? How can I take over? Seek ways that you can both win-win and come out of the scenario stronger.
That's really a great lesson that you also learned too. And it's like, you also really want to try to grow as a group. People want to like try to just win it for themselves and try to bring other people down and not really like have people by their side. But instead, from what I've learned, is that when you have people on your side and you try to win it, the situation for everybody, at the end of the day, you will actually make more progress long term than you do in the short term. So with that, the next lesson that I learned in 2022 is our biggest enemy in life is ourselves. Many people nowadays want to blame other people for their problems, whether it's, oh, he got lucky, or man, they didn't give me what I needed to do. Let's say some random scenario that you woke up late, right? And you're blaming your parents. Like, oh, my parents didn't wake me up, or nobody woke me up. Well, in reality, it's really yourself, that you didn't wake yourself up. You decided to sleep in. You decided to not prioritize waking up early. And that's, I feel like, a mistake that I made back then in the past. Like, all I cared about was blaming others because it felt good to blame other people. It felt good to not be the one who caused the problem. But the truth is, you're the one who causes the problem. You're the person who tells themselves, I'm too tired. I don't really feel like going to the gym. And let's even use this example too. Me and Omar, we tried so many times to try to get this podcast up, but we kept falling into so many like issues, right? And we had an excuse. We could easily say, you know what, we could record it tomorrow. We don't need to do it today. Like, all this is stopping us from actually recording the podcast. But what was that going to tell ourselves? That we don't really care about this as much, that we don't prioritize this. And that's just not how life really should be. You need to prioritize the things that really matter. And that's why we didn't give up. And we're here shooting this video for you guys. So that was one of the lessons that I learned in 2022. Omar, you could go back and say your other point too, so we can have this organized.
Well, yeah, man. What I was gonna say is with that is just that I think that's so powerful because it all comes down at the end of the day to accountability. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get anywhere by blaming others because the thing, even if it's their fault. Because let's say your mom told you she was gonna wake you up, and she didn't wake you up. That is technically speaking, that is her fault. But you don't get anywhere by saying that. Like you win, you're right. Technically, you're correct. Like, yeah, shit, it's her fault. But that doesn't fix the situation, right? So even though it's your fault, at the end of the day, it's still your responsibility. You know, it's not about the cards it's not about the cards that you're dealt with, but instead it's how you play the cards that you're dealt with, right? Because at the end of the day, no matter what the situation is, even if it's not your fault, it's still responsibility. So boss up and do what you got to do to take over.
100%.
Next thing is that I would definitely say, number 13 is seek simple solutions first. Sounds very common sense, sounds very basic. I'll break it down a little bit. Basically, a lot of times we feel good by getting complex solutions. And let me explain what I mean by that, right? Someone's trying to lose weight, for example, really simple example, right? They already know the basics of like, okay, I probably should eat McDonald's. You don't need to be an expert. Everybody already knows the basics. I probably should eat McDonald's. I probably shouldn't be drinking all this soda. I definitely, maybe should want to start going on walks, right? But they hear these things, but they're not exciting enough because you don't get the same dopamine hit of like thinking that you're a genius for figuring out this super secret solution, right? So that's when they'll turn to, what is like the best, green detox that I should get, or like what is the best 30-day ab burner workout or like glute booster or whatever. Understand? When a lot of times we seek these shortcuts because a lot of times we know the answer, but instead we try to find almost what's the best way to put it? Maybe it's a shortcut, or maybe it's just something that makes us feel like, okay, I'm stuck in this problem because the problem is a complex problem.
Mhm.
Because the complex problem must need a complex solution. It's not always the case.
Yeah.
Maybe it's simple. Maybe we're just lazy, right? Maybe the problem was it's simple, but we don't want to admit that. We want to instead tell ourselves that, oh man, it's super hard, it's super tough, right?
Mhm.
So seek simple solutions first, and definitely see how much further you'll get with that.
And I also wanted to add to that is that, like he said, we already know the answer. I feel like the word you were trying to say is it's not as attractive enough of an answer to them. See, everybody wants to find such a crazy solution. You've probably seen online people finding out how do you make money the fastest. There was definitely a situation that me and Omar know. There's people online portraying that you can make money in minutes, right? And when you hear that, it's like, holy crap, like, yo, money in minutes? Who does not want to make $1,000 in 10 minutes, right? It sounds so attractive to say that answer, right? Everybody's going to do it. But then when you realize that there's really no way to make $1,000 in 10 minutes, unless you're doing it illegally, you cannot make $10,000 you cannot make $1,000 in 10 minutes, right? Maybe there's some special way out there that we don't know about. Maybe we'll find out in the future. But the truth is, the real way how to like succeed in anything is pretty much getting down to the basics. How to get in shape? Stop eating bad food. Simple. Stop eating bad food. Start moving your body more. How to be more productive? Start organizing your day. Start having priorities, right? Simple answers like that. And then you'll solve this complex problem that you think that you have. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like reality is just simple solutions that will get you to the results that you've been looking for. So the next lesson that I learned was nobody is going to care as much as you do. And what I really mean by that is, let's say you have a goal, you have a vision, and your vision is, I want to get to 185 pounds, pretty lean. I want to look really good. I want my physique to look amazing. Great. You tell people everything. Yo, I want to be in the gym. I want to get really good in shape and everything like that. And people are going to praise you. Like, yeah, do it, bro. Do it. Right. But then let's say those days where you don't feel like going to the gym, you feel lazy, right? You're going to tell these people, nobody's going to come call you, say, hey, bro, did you go to the gym? I'm really blessed that to have like my bros in UWR who will keep me accountable, who will call me and say, yo, did you go to the gym? Yo, did you do this work? Yo, what's going on? And that's really good. If you have people who keep you accountable, stay with those people forever, because I promise you, you're going to go further in life if you have that. But Those people who don't keep you accountable, if you're telling everybody on your social media, I'm going to go to the gym, who's going to hit you up to check if you went to the gym? They're not going to care. They're only going to care as much as you do when you post on social media, hey guys, I'm in the gym. But other than that, if you're not going to the gym, nobody's going to check up on you to see, did you go? Nobody's going to see, yo, did you do your workout? It's really up to you. You have to have so much passion. You have to have so much drive into something you do in life if you want to be able to see the results, right? I didn't have this much motivation and this much drive in the beginning of working out. COVID happened and I had an excuse. Like I had an excuse in my brain telling myself, you know what? I'm not even going to the gym. Why do I need to go to, why don't even need to work out? But you can even ask Omar. Omar will tell you. I'll be on the phone with him. I'll still try to work out. We try to figure out what do I do as a workout routine to actually make progress during COVID. And I'm glad we did that because I needed to step up my game and actually bring up my inspiration and my passion with trying to get into shape. And here we are now today making a podcast. So you only care as much as you do. Nobody's going to care as much as you're going to do with a specific goal or specific drive that you have. I don't know if you wanted to add something to that, but
I mean, those COVID days were crazy, bro. Like I remember. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but you know, in New York, the gyms were it was crazy strict during COVID during the gyms. I know some states had like gyms were open maybe a month later, but I think in New York, the gyms were closed for almost like a year. It was something crazy like that. So Andy was not gonna allow his fitness journey to be stumped because the gyms were closed. So he had to work in the house and he had to do cardio, but he didn't really have anywhere to run. So this man, I'm on the phone with him, and no joke, what is this guy doing? This guy's running around the inside of his house, and this guy does not have. It's not like this guy's a 2-floor, 3-floor mansion. No. He is a regular 1 floor. Just running from the kitchen to his room, back to his mom's room, back to his brother's room. Just going back and forth like that. And it's one of those things where it's like, when you're really dedicated to something, you will get it done by any means possible. If you need to get a certain amount of steps in per day, any means possible.
yeah.
And what happens is that you're able to do it in such a bad scenario where it's obviously no one wants to run inside their house. That's ridiculous, right? Once you get it to a point where, you know, you're willing to even do that, if it means getting done, when you get back to normal situations where you actually have a treadmill or you actually can run outside, you appreciate it so much more and become the type of person that could get progress, not just in the best scenarios, but even the worst possible scenarios. You have confidence knowing that you're the kind of guy that's going to get results.
Yeah.
So keep it going, guys, with the list. My number 15, actually. So for number 15, very simple. And this is where it comes down to relationships, just people that you care about. When it comes to being there for people, it's really the little things that matter the most, right? A lot of times we get into our heads thinking that, you know, if we need to impress our grandma or whatever, impress our mom, we need to buy her a house, buy her a car. Of course, all those things are wonderful, right? But you'd be so surprised the impact that just giving someone a call who you're not called in a long time for no reason, not to ask them for a favor, not to ask them a question, just to see how, like, are you good? Are you okay? What's been up with you? You cross my mind, you know? And the reason it goes such a long way is because that almost never happens to us. Think about when was the last time that someone who you don't talk to on a normal basis called you just to see how you're doing, just to talk, just to see if everything was okay, right? Yeah. It's because it's become such a rare occurrence in our daily life. People appreciate it so much more. It doesn't take a lot to impress people nowadays. Just got to be genuine and just want to see what's up. Not focus on yourself and just genuinely caring about a person.
And sometimes that really could make somebody's day, right? Somebody could be going through something so bad. You don't know what people go through. And by you just calling them or by you just texting them, checking, hey, I was thinking about you, just letting you know, just stay focused. Everything's going to be all right. If you need anything, I'm here. Right there. You've probably made that person's day because now that person was probably thinking nobody was there for them. But because you made the attempt to actually check up on them, yo, they feel way better. That's what I was doing. I was hitting up people during COVID, and I still hit up people here and there, checking up, saying, hey, how you doing? Hey, how's it been? Is everything good? Because I want to show that person that I actually care. And we live in a world where a lot of people are selfish, only care about themselves. But understand that if that's the way how you want to live life, then you're going to have nobody. If you're just going to live for yourself, you're going to be with nobody at the end of the day. Then nobody's going to want to hang around you. You have to be able to bring people up, right? You have to be able to bring up people when they're at their lowest. You know what I'm trying to say?
Of course, man. Of course.
Yeah. So with number 16, the next lesson is your time, your energy, and your health are probably the most valuable things to have in your life. What you put your time to, right? If you're a person who dedicates their time scrolling on TikTok for 10 hours, right? And you're not getting any type of knowledge, like you're just scrolling a bunch of dancing videos, a bunch of funny videos, right? And not to say there's nothing wrong with that. You can't watch funny videos. I'm not saying that. But if you're just dedicating all this time on just watching a bunch of these videos, then you can't complain why you're not where you want to be in life, right? Your whole time and your whole focus is just directed into that screen, right? But let's say we take another person who dedicates their time into their health, reading, spending time with their family, actually watching educational videos. That person is going to have his time and his energy on something more valuable and something that's going to actually push them in life, right? And so how does health have to do anything with this? Well, if your health is not on point, then you can't really dedicate your time and your energy on things that really matter. You know that, I don't know if you heard the quote, but a healthy body equals a healthy mind. So if you have a body that's healthy, that you make sure is on point and you're exercising it every single day, you're probably going to have really good mental health. And so that means you're going to be dedicating your time and your energy on things that are also going to help you. You know what I'm trying to say? Compared to somebody
Of course.
who doesn't train, who doesn't really care about their health, right? Or they just rather be in bed scrolling on social media and all they're consuming is just negative energy, negative content online. And then they start to feel negative themselves. They start to judge people more. They start to, what's the word? They start to complain about life. When in reality, it's just what you're putting your time and your energy and your health in. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. I think it's so easy for people to neglect, like really just forget about how important that is, because sometimes when you have so much time, it's really easy to value the importance of it, which is why people could be so productive during the school year when they have no time, but then when they have so much time during break of the summer, all of a sudden they're procrastinating crazy, because sometimes you just gotta value that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. Moving on, so it's number 17. It would just be 17 thing that I learned in 2022 was it's the boring stuff that takes you the furthest. And what I mean by that is I couldn't figure out the perfect way to phrase it, but I'll explain basically what I mean by that. Is that a lot of times when you're passionate about what you do, right? Let's say in this example, you're passionate about public speaking. You're a person who's really have a powerful message that you want to get out there, that you want to get in front of the crowd. You love getting on the crowd, getting on that stage, hyping everybody up, seeing everybody get excited, everybody screaming, yeah, yeah. Maybe you're really passionate about that, and that's what you love to do, right?
Yeah.
That is great and all, but a lot of times we forget about all the boring work that goes into that, right? And the boring work, I just mean the due diligence and the setting up. Let me explain what I mean. Your end goal is to spread your message and get out there because you have a really positive message. You want to have the largest impact possible, right? If that is your goal, you want to have the largest impact possible, get your message to the most people. Cool, right? You love the part of getting up on stage, but what about the part when it comes to spending time figuring out the hotels and a plane situation for your new speaking event in Dallas, right? What about the time where it comes to, okay, you spoke already, you got the fun part out the way, but not about how about the part where you stay up late until 3 a.m. slicing it up into Instagram reels and pushing it out there, right? People sometimes only focus on the fun stuff that gets their attention that people talk about, but they understand how much value is in the stuff that maybe on the surface seems less exciting, but will help you get towards your end goal, right? Maybe the most fun part will be getting on stage and feeling that energy and feeling the room, right? But also, if your end goal really is to spread your message to the most amount of people, you can't neglect the value of being online, right? So this is just one of those examples where you got to be able to see the value of maybe not the flashiest aspect of what you do, not the flashiest way to grow and improve, but the most effective way. You can either be flashy or you can be effective. It's cool to be both, but sometimes when you can only choose one, go with effective every time. So I know, Andy, in your experience, you've had sort of like that. Would you mind speaking on that?
Um, well, for example, I could use like me recording content, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the most successful content creator. I have like I'm the most famous because I'm not. I'm in my beginning journey. But from what I've learned is that everybody who says they want to start making videos, you ask them this simple question: why do you want to make videos? Oh, I want the fame. I want to get the views. I want the money, right? Cool. That's great. And that's a great goal to have if you want to make another income with your content creation. But I will say, I'll ask you this. Are you willing to sit down and record the videos? Are you willing to learn how to edit your own videos first? Right? Are you willing to learn how to get the ideas, write down the script, right? Because that's all I have to. When I'm recording videos, right? I can't. Back then, I used to like think, oh, I'm just gonna go free for all. I'm not gonna have no script on my videos. But I realized that because all I cared about was just trying to push out videos to get views. I'll tell you guys a story. In my first Instagram reel, one of my first Instagram reels, I was able to get close to 300,000 views on the reel when I first started content. And that was probably one of the biggest mistakes that happened to me, right? I'm not saying I wasn't grateful for it, but when I saw that 300K views, what I was telling myself was, yo, this many views I could get, you know what? Let's keep posting more. I'm gonna get more and more 300,000 views. And then all I was chasing was just the view number. I was not chasing how to get the followers. I was not chasing how to create a community or to even like expand like my brand, my image. All I cared about was that view number. And it held me back for a long time because if I got a video that was pretty bad in views, because I'm going to be real with you guys, I have videos where they don't get over 1,000 views. But as long as I'm being consistent and I'm doing the boring work, getting the videos out there, even if it doesn't do well, I'm still pushing them out there because I know eventually one day that God is going to bless us and it's going to pop off, God willing, you know?
100%. 100%.
Yeah. So to move on, then my next lesson I learned was taking the hard challenges in life will make you better. We're all faced with like hard challenges, whether, for example, that means being the first one to present in class or going to the gym at night where you don't feel like going, or maybe not really eating bad food and swapping it out for good food. Whatever the challenge is, we're all going to be faced with that challenge. And from what I've learned, when you take those difficult challenges that are uncomfortable, you end up feeling more confident with yourself and you actually thank yourself for doing it, right? There's times, and I'll admit back then, where I was supposed to work out. Even if it was 10 o'clock at night, I made a promise I was going to work out. And I ended up not doing it because I was telling myself, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, right? And then I actually felt worse the day after because then I was telling myself I could have worked out, but I didn't because why? Was I wasting my time throughout the whole day? Was I scrolling through social media? How much work was I really getting done that day, right? And then I started feeling worse about myself. But I know recently when I take those hard challenges, for example, when I was giving a speech in my class, I was telling Omar, I was going to be the first one to do it. I didn't have to be the first one to do it, but I decided to because I know if I decide to be the one who is the first one to present in class, that's the scariest part. And then when I did it, guess what happened? I felt way better in life. I felt like, you know what? I'm more confident. I could talk to people now. I'm not afraid to talk in public. So that's why I think taking those difficult challenges that seem scary at first ultimately will help you become better in the future. I don't know if you have anything that you want to add to that.
100%, bro. Yeah, man, that's an absolute fact. I think people by default, we naturally, because understand, your brain doesn't want to go through nothing tough. Brain just wants to like take things easy, not stress, just do things that it's comfortable already doing, right? So once you make the decision to like not take the easiest path, but instead take the most effective path, and you forget about being comfortable, when you forget about being comfortable and just focus on growth, amazing things are gonna happen. Absolutely phenomenal things are gonna happen. Because just think about it like this: how many people have this mindset? The vast majority of people don't, because they just focus on, oh, but what if I like embarrassed? What if I this, right? So for the one guy who comes in and is like, listen, I'm just here to grow. I'm just here to get better. I'm just here to become the best that I can. That person is like a fish swimming next to a bunch of people, bro. You know, you're like going straight to it while everybody's like trying really hard, putting all this effort in, not really getting too far. You're just going straight through it. So I guess that was a weird example, but going off the top of my head. Now for number 19, this is one that I actually kind of passionate about because I know a lot of people out there. In fact, I'm gonna say almost everyone. Let's be honest. Procrastination. Everybody at some point has procrastinated in their life. I don't care who you think you are. At some point in your life, you're procrastinating, right? Some people struggle with it more than others, and it's something that I've definitely in my life struggled with a lot. I can speak on what has worked for me, and for number 19, it very simply is clarity is the cure for procrastination. So let me break that down. So when I say that, what I mean is that a lot of times when we procrastinate, it is because maybe we are in a lower state of we're not disciplined we don't have enough discipline at that moment to get the work done. So what happens is that we kind of know what we need to do, but we don't know exactly where to start. Starting when it comes to doing anything in general, understand that starting is the most difficult part of anything
Yeah.
because that is when your brain is doing something that it's not particularly the best at, which is thinking of what to do. When your brain doesn't know what to do and you're in a state of low discipline, understand that you will struggle with that, right? Because your brain, it's a lot easier for you to tell your brain, okay, let me write this sentence about this, versus for you to then versus your brain to think about, okay, what should my first sentence be about? That part is most difficult. What I recommend is that if you want to guarantee yourself, as much as you can guarantee anything, if you want to guarantee yourself to have a productive morning, take time the night before to carefully plan out your morning. And what I mean is don't go easy on this. Go hard and put effort into genuinely making this the best you can. I'm gonna wake up at 7 a.m. At 7:15, by 7:15, I'm gonna finish brushing and I'm gonna start praying. From 7:15 to 7:30, that's when I'm gonna start working. And I'm gonna start working on exactly I'm gonna do school, for example, just so that something that most people can relate with, right? I'm gonna work on my English essay. I'm gonna start the first paragraph, which will be about, just introducing the topic. And whatever that topic is, you could go based off of that, right?
Yeah.
That will make you so much more productive that morning because understand when you wake up in the morning, you don't have the mental capacity, maybe the energy to even just be thinking about what to write next. That was when you were in the state of mind from last night. Now you don't need to worry about thinking about what to do. You were already clear on that from the beginning. By you doing that, in my experience, I've been almost able to kill procrastination completely. From time to time, I still encounter it just like any normal human. But whenever I apply this so far, it's been flawless.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly agree because when I made a routine for myself when school, when we were in the semester, um, that routine really helped me because I knew what I was going to do in the morning. I knew what time I was going to work and really just being clear. Like a lot of people think it's because they're not good enough or they have no special skill. The truth is that you just don't know what you need to do. You're not clear of exactly when you're going to do it, right? People like to say college gives so much work and oh my gosh, this is so much work. I have to write a 10-page paper, but let's be dead ass. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to curse. Let's be real with ourselves. Let's be real with ourselves. You had around 2 months to get the paper done. You had 2 months and you waited all the way to the day before to start the paper. You know what I'm trying to say? And
Everybody's been there. It's crazy.
everybody's been there. And I've been there too. You had 2 months. So in reality, we have the time. We have the time. We just needed to get clear. Yo, honestly, even 30 minutes a day just working on the paper for 2 months, you would have easily gotten that done in literally a month before the due date. I really believe that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Of course, man.
So it's about clarity. It's about clarity. Be clear of exactly what you need to do. So just to move on, I guess number 20 is the 20th lesson. Sleep is really important for your health. A lot of people underestimate sleep, and I was one of those people too. Not too long ago, around like a year ago, I didn't really take my sleep seriously. And something so simple, and people ask, how does sleep actually get you more successful? How does sleep make you have a better physique? The truth is, if you're not having good mental health, then how are you really going to do anything else when you're awake properly? Right? I found for me 7 hours of sleep is where I have my sweet spot. That's good enough for me. I could aim for 8. Many people can say, "Oh, you can aim for 8." And of course, I'm gonna be doing my best to try to get 8 hours of sleep now. But from what I've realized, 7 hours of sleep And also cutting out the phone an hour before you go to sleep. That is so crucial because when you have that blue light on your eye and it's really dark, like you guys know how that's uncomfortable, that uncomfortable feeling when you look at the phone and it's like really dark. It kind of bothers you and it struggles you to actually go to sleep on time because your brain is still processing what you just looked at right on your phone. So sleep definitely is one of the most important things, and it will really, if you're trying to get better mental health, getting proper sleep is the best thing. Getting proper rest is really going to make a difference in your life, and you're going to be surprised on where you go if you actually start prioritizing a night routine, and you're going to feel way better in the morning, you know?
100%, man. It's sleep is so underrated that if you were going through social media and you saw that there was a new supplement that just came out, whereby you taking a supplement, it would increase your focus, increase your concentration, give you more energy, improve your mood, and make you happier, you'd be willing to pay, like, you would start looking for your wallet, your credit card, starting to put your money to buy this right away. Turns out it's just sleep. There's no magical pill. It's just sleep. That's all it is. But it's boring. So, like I said with my early point, people won't pay attention to that. So, to keep it going, guys, as we wrap up, number 21 is, and this is not my idea, I completely ripped this from Alex Hormozi, absolute genius, and it is that advanced performers are not advanced because of their tactics, but they're because they never neglect the basics. And you can apply this whether it's to basketball, whether it's sports, whether it's business, whether it's the gym, no matter what it is. The people who are at the top, who you consider advanced, they might have a couple of things that they do that maybe are a higher level in terms of like advanced and complexity than the people who are, not as high of a level as them. But it's really that they never forget the basics. For example, someone like Jeff Bezos, he's very famous for saying that he never gets less than 8 hours of sleep at night. He never forgets, even if it's something so crucial, so basic, right? It's a proven strategy. Understand? People like Alex Hormozi, what does he do that's so special? Well, one of the things he does is that he's always up at the same time every single day and gets his work done. He tries to reduce the amount of time from the moment he wakes up to the moment he starts working, just to keep that gap as small as possible, right? To just get starting to work right away. It's about less trying to complicate things and get, for all these crazy methods, and just stick to what what works and never lose that, right? Whether it's eating right, getting that good night's rest, staying consistent with the gym, always stick with that. Never, if you want to apply it to the gym, never fail to progressively overload. Never fail to get your macros in. Never fail to get a proper recovery. Stick with those things, and I promise you're going to get way further than the guy who does none of that, but just does some crazy new TikTok method and drinks like this super duper, green shake or something like that. I promise you that.
Man, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Just like waking up the same time every day, like just having like a basic routine that you follow every day that is going to make you feel better is really going to help you get further than the person who just randomly guesses what he's going to do or try the new trend. And so to wrap it up, the final lesson that we learned in 2022 is your strength is what makes progress in the gym. It took me a while to learn about progressive overload, right? Because I had this mindset where I thought I knew everything when I first started working out. And that really made it harder for me to really make progress because since I knew everything, then I didn't need to listen to anybody. But it wasn't until I realized that my physique stayed the same. It stayed the same. And because I was lifting the same weight, I wasn't really trying to progress overload. I was not trying to get stronger. And for anybody who doesn't know what progressive overload is, just learn this simple sentence. You're training harder than you did last time that you went to the gym. Simple. So since I was lifting the same weight over and over again, my body had no reason to grow, right? And it wasn't until I realized, why don't I try lifting heavier weights? Why don't I try lifting heavier, maybe increasing the reps? And once I did that, what happened? I got stronger and my physique got better. I got better. Wow, what a crazy solution. So simple, but it took me a while to learn it. So simple. So that's why I mean, your strength is what really makes progress in the gym, because if you're not getting stronger in the gym, then I don't know. It depends what you're trying to be. Are you trying to be a cardio athlete? Are you trying to just go to the gym just to walk? It is what it is. But if you're somebody who's trying to build muscle, you need to try to get stronger in the gym every single time. you go in for your workout. So I don't know if you wanted to add something to that, Omar.
My gym story is pretty much the exact same. In the beginning of my gym journey, I was the type of guy that I heard progressive overload, but not even joking with you guys, I thought progressive overload was something that you did every few months. No joke. I thought that like I was at 40 pounds. I think it was chest flies. I use chest flies as an example, right? I was at 40 pounds, like 12 reps for like 6 months straight before I bumped it to 45, right? Because I had a limiting belief about progressive overload. How could it be possible that then, as soon as I implemented every single workout, improve a little bit, even if it's like an extra rep or two, even if it's just putting the weight up by one notch or two increments, right? Somehow in 6 months, I improved by 5 pounds on that exercise. Once I start progressively overloading, in the same time span, I think I'm now up to like over 100. I forgot the exact number, but over 100 somewhere.
There you
The
go.
same time frame, right? And this is just it goes to show that the power of beliefs, and that a lot of times the wrong beliefs can hold you back. I thought I was not supposed to progressively overload because I thought that's not how it worked. Once I learned how it worked, that's how I was able to see me getting stronger was how I made progress in the gym. So, guys, that does wrap it up for 22 things we learned in 2022. Guys, this is our first pod. This is our first podcast series ever. Please, guys, give us tons of feedback. We're trying to find ways to make this better. We know it's definitely not going to be super perfect. We know that, but we just wanted to get this started and get this out for you guys, so we can get the ball rolling and start, working on these. We just want to ask you guys for your feedback, any support, which is greatly appreciated. And I'll pass to my boy Andy to close us off.
All right. So thank you for making it all the way to the end, guys. It really means a lot to us that you actually sit here and actually take time out of your day to really listen to the lessons we learn. And we actually would like to know some lessons that you guys learned. So if you guys want, comment down below. What is something that you learned in 2022? Because we're always trying to grow. Remember, this community is about uniting, rising together as a united group. So just comment down below a lesson that you learned, and we'll gonna reply back with a comment and see what type of value we can provide for everybody else. Well, that's really gonna be it. If you guys are interested in also following our social medias, I'll link them down in the description below. And share this with a friend if you think they're gonna gain value from it. And if you actually enjoyed it, share it with somebody else. Share it with your social media. That's really what's gonna get more people to come follow our channel too. But like we said, that's gonna be it. Thank you for making it to the end, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast.